Hello friends. So in my previous ADF video, I have demonstrated you how to extract the data from one particular Azure storage container which contain multiple CSV files over there, and then I load those table and the data in the SQL server itself. So the primary purpose of that video was to extract the data dynamically, because it does not stack to a particular file CSV file, rather it can be a multiple file, and thereafter I load the data, means it's step 1 and step 3 that I have covered already, and on the fly data was extracted from the particular Azure storage container. Thereafter it was being loaded in the SQL server. But at that day I really did not focus on the transformation of the data. Okay, so today video is mainly how would you transform the data after the extraction of the data. So that's the thing we are going to touch, because as you know that Azure ADF is a ETL tool. Okay, extract, transform, then load in the destination. Okay, so extract is your primary source of the data, then you manipulate your data, and then you load your data or save your data in the sink. Okay, so under the transformation of data, today we are going to see how to generate a derived column, how to aggregate the data. We all understand the aggregation, but let's understand it on the scope of ADF rather. Okay, then the filter. So that would not be a very long video, rather a very script served and pinpointed video. Okay, let's start. So let me open up my the particular data that I want to show you today. So this is my CSV file actually. As you see, this contain few more columns. I downloaded it from Kaggle actually. It's a FIFA World Cup score sheet actually. This is the date, this is the home team, this is the away team, this is the team who owned that and who was the scorer, and all the information are there. Okay, so for today I'll be mainly focusing on this particular date, the team. Okay, so the main purpose is that just try to derive a particular column, means I will going to extract this year part. If I make it big actually, if you see it, okay, so every this date part contain a year part. Okay, so I am interested to extract this particular year part, make a separate column for that. Then obviously with the help of this particular year and the team, I am going to perform some aggregation of that. So for that reason, I have already uploaded this particular CSV to my Azure storage container over here. That's my, let me show you that first. This is the input of the data where my CSV has been decided over here. Now if you go to the output, the data will be coming up over here. And another factor is that, as you see in this particular CSV file, if I go to this particular team, there are several teams available. Okay, so my purpose will be to do the aggregation by the team and by the year, and also create a separate CSV file for each of the team. So for that purpose, if it starts with A and then B, like Argentina, Brazil, then 2 CSV, and if I pick Chile also, then 2 or 3 CSV, separate CSV for each team for the particular year will be created in the output storage. That's the main purpose of this particular video. So let's jump in without wasting any more time. So let's jump in to the particular Azure Data Factory, where we'll perform this kind of operation over here. Okay, now this is my ADF. So as you know that we need a connector. So for this particular purpose, our input and output will be on an Azure container. So we need to create the connection between from ADF to this particular containers. Okay, so how do we create it? We have shown it. I have already shown it in previous video, but let's make it one more time. So as you see, I have already created 2 connector. This is my input connector. Okay, and as you see, it is connecting to this particular storage. Okay, and it's like that, it's connecting to my input storage over here. Okay, now if I go to the output connector, it is the same. Okay, now after creating this connector, if you're wondering how to create those connector over here, you can quickly go through my previous video where I have prescribed how to create those connector over here. Now once the connector is being created and the connection is being established, how do we justify that? Just you have to click this test connection. If everything works fine, then it will be showing as the connection successful. Okay, so after creating the connector, our next step will be going to this particular author over here. Now as you know that once you get the data from a particular source, you need to hold the data. That is the purpose of the data set, right? Now, and this is vice versa also, means if you want to push the data to some external service like the SQL server or the container, you need a separate data set where you can store the output of the data. So for that reason I have created two particular data set. One is this particular input test input ds. Okay, so let me create it for you one more time. Okay, so let me create a data set for it. So this is my input folder. I need to create a data set. How can we do it? Let's quickly do it. Okay, let's click over here, click on the new data set. Let's pick up Azure Blob Storage because that is the input source for us. Okay, hit the continue. Now that is the CSV file. You know that I have shown you that in the input folder this particular file is a CSV file. So for that we need to select this particular delimited state or CSV from here. Once you click the continue button, you will have to give this particular name. Okay, so for our demo purpose, let the name be demo input data set CSV. Okay, now you have to pick up the link service. So this is the link service that we talked about. So I am picking this particular link service which will connect actually ADF to our Azure container. Once you click it, so you have to select the file path from here. Okay, it's called container, directory and file name. Now I have to select which exact file I'm targeting to load. Okay, so for our purpose it will be on the input data, and you know that I have already talked about the particular CSV file which I am targeting, that is goalscorer.csv. So let me pick up this. Okay, once you hit it, it will be loaded from here. Okay, so for now it will be fine. Let's click on the OK button to create our input data set. Okay, so let me copy it so that I can. Okay, so now as you see our input data sets have been created over here. Okay, now if you want to see how the data looks like, then of course first I will suggest you always click this particular detect format. Okay, because actually what it does behind the screen, it detects the format of the CSV file. Okay, now once done, if you click on this particular preview data, you will see that all the data has been loaded up over here. Okay, that was available in the CSV file. Now if you close this, that means our connection is successful. We can load our CSV file from the Azure container to this particular ADF data set, and we are all good to go. Now in the schema section, as you see, all the fields are picked up as a string. Let it be that way for now. So this is our input data set, but as you know that we also need a output data set to hold our output data or our aggregated filtered data over there. So that for that purpose I will create another new data set for us. Same Azure Blob Storage. Click on it, should be on delimited stakes. Yes, I want that. Okay, now rename it as a output. Okay, output, fine. Okay, now select the link service. We have already created the link service. Now we don't have any file, right? Because that output will be generated. So I'm just picking up the particular container or the folder. Okay, now click on the OK button. So of course this will hold for us. Now this file name is empty because we are going to generate those files, and we have to push those data in this particular output data container over here. The file will be available under this container. That's the purpose of this. Okay, now we have created the data set. Now the question is that if you want to do some manipulation of the data, the transformation, rather I should not call it manipulation, rather it is transformation, right? So for the purpose you need to create a data flow, okay, where you design all your flow of the data, how we want to pass the data from one particular position, one particular node to another particular node, and what kind of transformation you are going to apply throughout the data. That is what the data flow is all about over here. Now we have to create a data flow. Now create a data flow. Let's create a data flow. Create on this particular new data flow over here. So it will be asking you to add a data source from where the data will be picked up. Okay, so let be add a data source. Okay, now we know that we have an input data set. We have already created it. Okay, so let me maximize it for you. Now once you come over here, it is asking you for the source settings, means what is the source of this particular data. Okay, so of course in this data set, as you see, it is a mandatory, you have to select it. Okay, so we have created this demo input data set CSV for our input data purpose, right? So I'm just selecting it as our input data set for this particular data flow to work on. Okay, now if you go over here, if you go in the data preview, see, you will have a message that please turn on the debug mode and wait until the cluster is ready to preview the data. What does it mean? Actually what is happening behind the screen is that, see, in the previous video when we are not doing any kind of transformation, just a simple copy from a particular location to a particular location, this kind of thing was dynamically loaded for us. But as now we are running with the transformation of the data, we need some kind of environment which will act behind the screen to facilitate the transformation of the data. That is what is actually node or cluster is. Okay, so for now just understand that you need to create a cluster for your thing to work on over here. Okay, so how to create the cluster? If you see, after this validation there is a checkbox called data flow debug. If you enable it, it will going to create a cluster for you so that you can preview your data before the transformation over here. Now debug time to live. Okay, now one important aspect to know over here is that integration runtime we can talk later period, that's not an important thing right now, but this particular debug time to live. Okay, so as we are running with the demo, we also want to save some cost for us, right? So of course you have to select around 1 hour, 2 hour, because as long as the cluster is running, you have to pay for the cluster. It's a separate pay bucket, so we have to pay for the price for that. Okay, just remember it, it's a small price, but let it be that way. Okay, so I'm picking 2 hours for my purpose. Okay, now I'm clicking the OK button over here, that I am telling ADF that create a cluster for me where can I perform the transformation. At least I can view my transformation, how it is happening, why it is happening. Okay, so click on the OK. Now you have to wait for few minutes to get the cluster created over here, because generally it takes some amount of time to get your cluster done. As you see, this thing is circling around, means the cluster is being generated for you. It will take some time for us to being generated over here. Okay, now in meanwhile, if you go to the source setting, we have taken the source over here. We have couple of options over here: source path, projection, how you want to project the data, because all of our data by default picked up as a stream, right? But do you want any specific format to be projected over here? Okay, so you can select the specific format from here. Okay, optimization, yes, that's a very important thing, but I will just touch it up for a moment right now, because what actually happening, we are creating the cluster. Actually the cluster is creating on Azure Database, actually behind the screen. Now if you are familiar with Azure Databricks, or you are coming from the Hadoop world, you will understand what is the single partition or multiple partition mean over here. Okay, so that's the thing all about over here. So I will pause this video for now because it will take around one or 2 minutes more to get me my cluster. Once it's been done, I'll be resuming back. Okay, so now what happened, as you see there is a green check mark, means if the cluster is successfully being created, then ADF is going to notify us by this green arrow that your cluster has been created. And of course every Azure, on Azure, whatever you do, you can have a notification over here. Also in this notification you can see that the cluster is ready, the session ID is this for you. Okay, so just let me close it. Okay, now as the cluster is being created, then as you see the data preview on green. Okay, now if you click on it and hit the refresh button, if your connection is okay, if your data set is okay, then of course it will preview the data within a minute. Okay, so of course it takes a little bit of time because as you know the ADF itself is very first process, but what is happening behind the screen is that this ADF treats these things as a total package. It is compiling those packages, sending to this particular a virtual cluster over there, cluster on the nodes over there. Now, and at that particular node, that the compile thing has been processed. Now it is being returned back to the ADF. So that particular thing takes some time. So that is why there is a delay over here. Okay, but see, now our record has been loaded fully. As you see, this is the date column that we have. Okay, this is the date column, this is the await team column over here, score, minute, everything is being loaded over here. And as you see, it has a 8 total column count of it. Okay, now you see ADF is not going to load the entire data for you. Okay, it is just sampling the thing 100 out of this total 1000. It is showing that you have a total 1000 of record in this particular CSV file, but dear user, I am only sampling out the 100 record for you to just have a glimpse of the data. Fine. Now here we have already successfully loaded our data. So what next? Okay, so if I go to this particular sheet over here, that I said that I have to transform the data, right? The first step is the derived column. So let's do it. Okay, so how to derive a column over here? So that's a very interesting thing. Let's understand this thing first. Okay, so here you will see one particular small plus arrow over here. Okay, let me. Okay, now if you click it, you will see this plus indicates that what operation I need to perform after I get the source. That's the plus sign all about. Okay, what next? The next step, the next very step we want to perform over here. So of course if you go to this, there are a lot of options. It cannot be covered under one particular video, but eventually we are focusing today under the schema modifier. You will see one particular thing called derived column. So just click over here. Once you click it, you are landing over this derived column. Okay, so what it is saying to you is that I understand I need to perform of derivation of a column, I need to create a column, but ADF is asking us how can you please tell me how would I create this particular column, what do you want from me? Okay, so now what we need to do over here, so incoming stream, as you see, incoming stream is the source one, because that is the source one is our source of the data. That's right, that's very right. Okay, now under this column section, it is asking us what exactly you are looking for. Add or select a column. Okay, so of course we are going to add a column over here. Let the column name be year, because as you see in the CSV file we do not have any column called year, right? It's date, home, but there is no presence of year. So okay, let it be like this. Match year means which year the match has been played. Alright. So under the expression, you need to give a expression builder that will help you to build the expression out of it. Means, see, our target is that we are focusing this on this particular date column. Okay, so the date column is combination of, as you see, date means day, month as well as the year. Okay, but we are interested to subtract the year from it. That's the whole purpose of it, right? So I am going to need a formula to do that. So where I can write the formula, you can directly write over here, or you can use this open expression builder to build your own formula. So one interesting thing to note it over here, that is that this all the formula, the language is being used over here is the Scala. Okay, so as I said to you that ADF behind the screen is running on Azure Data Factory, Databricks, and Databricks actually you can work on. If you are familiar with Databricks, you know that Scala and Python is one of those favorite two languages that works on the Databricks over there. So you need a little bit of knowledge of Scala over here, but okay, let me create the function for you, then it will be very easy to understand. Okay, so if you remember that we have loaded the data. Okay, okay, and all the thing like date, home team, away team, everything is a format of a string, right? ABC, that is also shown being over here. That's ABC. That means it's a string type. So if I want to take the year from the string, so there is a two way of doing that. Okay, so one is that if you want this particular 1916 from here, then of course you can use the substring function to extract a particular portion of the particular string, or rather there is another way to do it. First of all, you need to convert the string to date time, then you abstract the year from the date time, right? That's the objective of it. Okay, so if you go to this particular expression, you will, if you type if you don't know what to write over here, just type date. Okay, so if you scroll down over here, you will see there is a option of to date. Okay, just hold on over here, to date. Okay, so to date is, see, if you don't know Scala, don't worry for that. Okay, just focus on this particular function. It is very simple, okay, and clearly written. So this particular function is expecting three parameters. Okay, one is what is your string, that's the first parameter. Second, what format the data is, or you want to give a format, or local if you want to give that. Okay, so if you are familiar with programming language like C#, you will definitely going to understand all the things over here. So let's pick up this particular function. Okay, so I pick this particular function. Now as you see, I have to supply the input string, means upon what this particular to date function will be applied to, right? So just remove this one. Now if you remove this one, if you go to the input schema, you will have this particular date column over here. If you put the cursor over here, click on the date, it will be coming over here. So in this portion, what we have done, we have converted this particular date, which is a form of the string, to a particular format of a date, right? Now you want to extract the year part from it. Okay, so of course there are a lot of function available, but really you want to extract the what should I say, year, right? So why not you just type year. Let's see what we have. Okay, fantastic, we have a function over here. Okay, so what is that? Get the year value of a date. Whoa, voila, that is the exactly thing that we are looking for, right? So extract the year from the date, that is what, right? Okay, fantastic. Now let this put this function over here. that we want to extract the year. Now date time. So of course we know that it is returning the date. Okay, so just put it over here. Okay, so what exactly we have done? This is the date which is coming from your input schema. Okay, that's the form of the string type. By the toDate, we converted the string to the date. Now applying year function on top of it, we are just taking away or abstracting the year part from it, which is actually an integer. Okay, now here is the point. Let me ask you one question. Okay, so I have shown you one particular way that how to get the year from a particular string value which is apparently to be a date, right? Now if we apply substring function from this particular string, if you want to subtract it, what will be the output? Let me know in the comment box. Is there any difference between two methods? Just put the comment in the comment box, then I will understand. Okay, so now once this being done, just click save and finish. Okay, now as you see, we are all good. So can it be renamed to in a more meaningful way? Let's see, what should be my step? Okay, derive the year, that should be right. Fantastic. Okay, now once being this done, let's go to the data preview section. Let's see. Okay, so of course you need to refresh it and have to have some patience. As I told you that although it's looking very simple, but behind the scene a lot of things is happening actually. Okay, so now let me close it. Okay, now as you see, did you see, now it has 8 column over here. In this step it become 9 because we have introduced one particular derived column. So of course 8 plus 1, that become 9. Now what is the column? So these all are the present over this particular 8. So match here was our target. Okay, so did you get the match here? Yes. See, everywhere the match here 1919, as you see it's 1919, reflecting 1919. Okay, now it is 1922, so it is reflecting 1922. Congrats, you have successfully extracted the match here from the date of the match. That was the first purpose of the transformation that we are performing today. So we can mark it as green, right? Okay, let's mark it as a green, that we had completed our step over here. Okay, now still aggregate and the filter, there are 2 steps remain over here in the transformation phase. Let's jump in. So once you have the data, now of course you will see another plus button over here, means it is asking what is the next step of from here actually. Okay, so once you click it, so see, now what is the purpose? I have told you that I want to perform some kind of aggregation. Okay, so what exactly I am looking for here is that this is my team, this is my match here actually. So I want to have count of the particular team. Okay, where the aggregation condition will be my group by, what means, if you are familiar with the SQL Server query itself. Okay, so what exactly I'm saying that I need a count of the team. Okay, that is my aggregation, but group by, give me the group by by this match here and the team itself. Okay, so it's like that, group by match here team, and take the aggregation, means the count of the team from this particular group by clause when it executes. Okay, so that's a SQL thing. Now we can perform the similar activity on the fly. Once you click it, okay, so you will see after derived column there is a select, there is a aggregate, there is a modifier called aggregate. Okay, once you click it, so you will be landing over here. Okay, now you see by default it's a 0 column. Of course it will have a 0 column because we have not performed any kind of aggregation, so of course the resulting set will be 0. We have to do some work over here. Okay, now just understand this thing very clearly. see, incoming stream is already being picked up, means it is deriving from here to here. So that is why the incoming stream is derived the year. Okay, it's already being picked up because there is a link between it. Okay, now if you want to perform the aggregation, as I told you, okay, so what is my objective? As I told you that I want to perform the aggregation, but my group by clause, I want to specify two particular column that I am interested into group by. Okay, so once you click it over here, you will have all the column of your data set. Okay, so of course, as I told you, I want to perform this group by the team. Okay, also I want to perform it by the matching year, of course. Okay, so that's the thing we are looking for over here. Okay, now this is the group by clause. Now what kind of aggregation we want to perform? If you click on this particular over here, you will see that it is asking for you that what kind of aggregation you want to perform. Okay, so if you go to this particular, again you have to put a name. Okay, okay, you can give it any name, but let it be a meaningful name. Okay, what should I give it? Okay, team count by year. That is what exactly we are looking for, right? Once you give it, you have to go to the expression builder. Okay, to build your expression means you need to put a aggregation clause, right? So what will be our aggregation clause? Okay, if you click over here, now what exactly we are looking for? We are looking for the count, right? So okay, where should I find it? Where should I find it? Okay, these are all function over here. Now again, if you don't find where is the count is, can you just type it, count? Yeah, let's see. Oh, we are lucky. Okay, so we got the count over here. That's the count function. Now see what it is what it is expecting from you. Okay, it's a count. The parameter says that any expression that needed to be evaluated. Now here is a very fantastic thing. Although for our purpose we are performing the count on the team, okay, but of course you can specify multiple column over here. As you see in the example, it is already given. See, you can put, sorry, I lost it. Okay, so as you see, count for a particular column, count with the two column. Okay, if you want that kind of count. Okay, or even a condition. Okay, you want to perform a count with a condition, IIF conditions. That if this thing is null, then put a 1 or put a 0, null, return a null over here. Okay, so that kind of conditional count is also available. So see how much ADF is powerful. Okay, fantastic, right? Okay, let's, for our purpose, I will just pick this count, and I am interested if you if you just forgot what is the schema, so if you can go over here, you can find the what exactly we are looking for. Okay, so that's the thing we are exactly looking for, that team count. Okay, so once you've done it, okay, you can click the save and finish. Fantastic. Okay, next step, as you can understand, so if I am performing some aggregation, of course I want to see the result, right? How does it look like? Okay, so of course click on the data preview, refresh it over here. Wait, yeah, now see. Okay, as you see, all the things are coming up. Okay, so means in 1996 Uruguay is a 6 count, Argentina 1996 is 7 count, Chile 1996 is a 2 count. Okay, so Brazil in 1996 is a 3 count, right? So it is sorting by the matching year actually. Okay, by default it is sorting by the matching year, but still you have an option, you can sort it by name also. Okay, so if you see, Argentina of course started with A, 1996 the score was 7, 1997 5, 1999 7. Of course if A is finished, then it will go for B, alphabetical order, Belgium, Bolivia, Brazil. Interesting, right? I'm a fan of world soccer, so it's very interesting. Lots of facts out there. Very good. Okay, so now we have this particular three column. One is the team, one is the matching year, okay, and one is the team count by the year. Okay, now what next? What next? Okay, now this next operation is not mandatory, okay, but I need to show you something, and another thing I am going to tell you. Okay, that is why I put a filter. If you come over this particular Excel sheet, so aggregation is done, we can mark it as a green. Now we are working on the filter, so I want to show you how the filter really does work. Okay, so as you see, lot of team are out there, right? So means from A to if you go to this master sheet over here, and if you just go to the Excel and apply some kind of filter over here, and if you see from A to it's a lot of thing. Okay, so up to Z, it's a you have a lot of team over here, so I'm not interested onto that. Okay, so for now what exactly we are looking for, that there are a lot of country representing as a team, but I'm interested onto let's say 3 team. Okay, so of course I need to take the data. Another one important point I really want to show you, just hold on a minute. As you see, if you see, you can click it anywhere. This is the source. Okay, this is the source of you. If you remember, it was showing 1000, right? If you just remember. Okay, you can refresh it to see that thing. Okay, let me show you that. So see what exactly I am pointing out. This is the source, this is the derived here. Also of course the 1000 row will be presented over here, but when you perform the aggregation, actually if you see, it become 153 row over here. Okay, so that's the beauty of ADF. It does the aggregation. Of course if you are familiar with SQL Server, SQL logics, okay, or Oracle logics, if you are familiar with the PLSQL, you will understand that group by will actually reduce the count of the row, right? That's a fact. So that is what is happening over here. Okay, so now I want to put a filter condition over here. So how to put it? If you click over here, again the same thing. If you go down, see here is a thing called row modifier. Okay, so as the name is suggesting you, that you can put a filter, you can short it. Okay, are you finding the similarity? Filter means in the SQL it's a where clause. Okay, short, all that short clause. Okay, order by, right? So it is equivalent to the where condition of the SQL. Okay, now I'm clicking on the filter. Okay, now once you click on the filter, let it filter by country, something like that. Okay, great. Okay, rename it. Okay. Now again your source, your source will be aggregate 1, of course, because it is coming from the aggregation step to the filter, right? So if you come over here, now what exactly we are going to do, we want to pass a filter to filter those 153. As you see, as I told you, it is returning 153 over here, right? The count was 153. If you refresh it, that count is 153, but I really want to reduce that. Okay, by a filter condition, I want to select only 3 country from this particular whole data. Okay, 153 is the count. So what exactly I am going to do, I am going to pass a filter. Now if you click over here, again go to the expression builder. Okay, now as you see, if you are wondering, if you are not familiar with schema, Scala, sorry, very sorry for pronunciation, you will be wondering how to evaluate this, right? But see, if it is Scala, if it is Python, C#, Java, whatever language you have worked on, everything has the same essence, right? what exactly we are going to do. Okay, sometimes I say, people say learn the tools, okay, learn the, someone say learn the technologies, but I really say, learn the tool, good, learn the technology, that also good, but actually learn the philosophy. Okay, that's the key factor, because in every programming language, in every technology can differ from each other, but the underlying philosophy of that will always be same, right? Give an example. See what exactly we are looking for. We are looking, if I cancel this out, filter on means expression. We need an expression, right? So how many column we have over here? Okay, aggregate. If I go over here, I have team, match here, and team count. So exactly I am targeting this particular column called team column, right? So of course, if you come over here and if you click over here, so you want some kind of equality, right? So why not, if you don't know the function, what is the function, why not you just type equal. Let's see if we have something called equal or something like that. Okay, sorry, it's not coming up for me. Why it is not coming up for me? Okay, okay, so I was maybe mistyping something, right? I'm very fast actually. Okay, so of course if you type equal, okay, so if you drill down, you will have, see, the thing is that we are understanding the equal, but let's understand the larger scope of it. Okay, now we'll be using equal, of course, because it says that comparison equal operator same as the double equal operator. Okay, so if you are coming with a SQL Server, it's double equal, right? So the fact remains is that if you go down, there is a lot of operation, means equal ignored case, okay, greater or equal, key value comparison, okay, not equal, lesser or equal, okay, LPAC, there is a lot of things over here. If you study those out and practice this out, that will be very handy, right? Okay, so now for this particular purpose I will pick the equal. Okay, now what exactly I am looking for, that's the first question. So of course I will remove this equal. So in the input schema I am looking is that team. Okay, so of course what team I will pick up, so that should be coming under over here. So let's go to the CSV file. Let's pick Argentina. I know, although I am not my team is not Argentina. Okay, so that's fine. So this is the one particular equal that you are equating over here. So of course if you apply that particular filter, what will happen, that all the data is going to be filtered by the equals, where team equals to it's not equals to rather. Okay, let us see. Okay, it's a two parameter. Okay, first parameter is the team, where you do the comparison, then it would go over here. Okay, so equal team equal to Argentina, right? Now I want to pick another two teams. So how should I do it? Okay, so of course the and or condition, right? So you need to put it up. Okay, so in Scala actually what happened, and is very simple. This is the and for the or operator you need to put a double pipe over here. Okay, that's the or. Okay, so what exactly we are telling the the expression is that if your team is equal to Argentina, or if your team is equal to, let's say, Brazil, yeah, that's my team, I should pick up. Okay, so Brazil, or you can say another or over here also, because we are working on the three team, right? So you can put it over here like this way. And what should I pick up? Argentina, Brazil. Okay, let it be Chile. That's fine, right? Yeah. Oh, Uruguay. Let's find it. Uruguay. Okay, fine. So put it over here. These are the three teams we are targeting for, right? That's the expression. Means that if my team, the value is equal to Argentina or the Brazil or Uruguay, you should pick up. That's the filter condition we are applying over here. Now save and finish. Okay, so when you save and finish, you of course can go to the data preview and refresh the data to see that. See, now it is saying 50, means it eliminate other things over here. Okay, it is only giving us the 50, total 50. Okay, so that's the thing we are looking for over here. Okay, now what exactly we are going to do, that's a very interesting step actually. See, now we want to load the data or save the data to our this particular output data, right? That's the thing we are looking for. Now if you click over here, you will have an option called sync. Okay, let me type it. Okay, sync means your destination. Now incoming string is being picked up because it was referenced by this. Okay, now the output stream, we have created this particular output data set long back, right? Okay, now the thing here is that if I left this thing in this way, then what will happen if I run this right now? What will happen? All my data, whatever I have in this particular filter by country 50, will be going to for creating one particular CSV file in the destination, right? But that is what exactly we are not targeting right now. Our target is, if you remember, so let me mark it complete. We have filtered this out, that's successful. Okay, that is also successful. Now under the load, what exactly we are going to do, we are going to create 3 team equal to 3 spreadsheet or CSV. I'm sorry, it's CSV. Okay, what I mean by this actually is that, okay, let me bring it up. Okay, so it has Uruguay, it has Argentina, it has Brazil. Won't be it will be beautiful if we create 3 separate CSV, each representing everything. How cool is that? Okay, that will be fantastic, right? Let's do it. How to do it? Here is the trick, okay, that I'm going to show you. Now if you go to the settings, okay, means if you go to the settings of the sync, optimized, should I, okay, see, you can do a lot of things over here. Okay, just I'm showing you today, I'm not going to deep dive on it right now. Okay, in my separate video coming up, we'll be deep diving. Okay, so there is a lot of option over here. Okay, as you see, use current partitioning, means whatever partitioning the data has, right? Or a single partition, okay, or a set of partitions. See, this is where the power of ADF lies. Okay, partition your data just before you put in the sync. Okay, how you are going to perform your partition? It can be round robin, it can be hash matching, it can be dynamic range, it can be a fixed range, or it can depend upon a particular key. Okay, so means let me show you. If you pick up the key, what it indicates that you need to give the based on what I will partition the data, and once the partition is being done, then of course if you go to this particular setting option over here, you can choose part partition, okay, out on a single file. Lot of option over there. Okay, so but for this particular demo purpose, I'll be not driving into this particular depth. Okay, it will be very confusing actually. Let it be on the default thing, means use current partition for now. Okay, now under the settings, okay, what I'm going to do is that it is indicating is how I'm going to create the file for you. ADF is asking you. Okay, you can leave it on by default, but for our purpose, what exactly we are targeting? We are targeting to create 3 CSV file out of it, right? If you remember that, right? So of course we are not leaving over here. What exactly we are going to do is that we are going to do there is an option called name file as column data. Okay, means create your file based on the column data. That is exactly what we are targeting over here, right? So we'll be picking this up. Now it will ask you for an expression, right? So you need an expression, means if you click over here, okay, and if you go over the okay, let me show you that. Okay, so it is asking you for an expression. Okay, so what column data you are targeting for? Okay, so you need to click over here. Okay, so you are targeting what? You are targeting the team, right? So you click it. Okay, so if you add the dynamic content over here, and if you show this particular team over here, okay, could not be found. It cannot be found. Okay, so go to this. There is a fix around it. Let me create a parameter called file name. Okay, now once this parameter is being created over here, what exactly we are going to do? We are going to come over here. Okay, now we are saying this is as file name. Okay, so this is the open the expression builder. See, we have created this particular parameter actually over here. So I think it's being recorded, or I see some kind of lag over here. Okay, fine. So sorry guys, my video was not working at point of time. Anyway, so as we are talking about, okay, so what exactly we are looking at? We are looking at the column data. Okay, so that is a dynamic expression. Okay, so how do you know that what exactly we are looking for over here? So if you go over here, add dynamic content over here. Okay, first of all you need to create a parameter. Okay, so let me create a parameter. Let me create a parameter. My parameter name is file name. Okay, so it's a type of string, and what exactly it is going to evaluate, but from where it is going to take the value, right? What is the value for it? So that is the team, right? So we put it over here. Now once you create this parameter, and if you come over here in the expression builder window, you can just put the file name over here. See, okay, let me save and finish it one more time. Now if you come over this expression and you have this file name, so you pick the file name. As you see, you have this file name over here, right? It's coming from the parameter actually. Okay, so you populate your parameter based on this particular team value. Okay, now you come over here, you pick the file name, means the team value will be populated to this particular file name parameter, and it will be passed to your expression, so it will be evaluating. Okay, now once this thing has been done, okay, if everything is fine, then you can preview your data also. Let me preview that. Okay, so it can give you a error. Okay, okay, string by parameter expression value not enclosing the code. Okay, fine. Okay, that should be fine. That's not an issue. Okay, so we'll fix this particular. See, one particular very interesting thing. Let me zoom in if I can. Okay, there is one particular thing you need to look. Okay, see the particular error message. Okay, can I copy it in a notepad? Okay, fantastic. Now if I open the notepad, I want to show you something. Let me bring the notepad. See the error message. See what is said. Spark job failed. Okay, if you remember that when I was talking about this particular cluster and all those things, I have told you that although we are working on ADF, actually behind the scene ADF is actually exploiting, not exploiting, rather leveraging. Okay, that's a proper word. Leveraging the Databricks, Azure Databricks. Okay, and if you understand, Azure Databricks jobs are run on the Spark. Those are the Spark jobs. Okay, so when you create a cluster, actually behind the screen it creates a Spark node or Spark cluster. Okay, if you're familiar with Hadoop, you will understand, it's a Spark job that was created on that particular node, that is showing you the particular exception for you. Okay, column operation are not allowed in the literal expression. Possible cause being value for the string parameter and the expected string value is not enclosed in a single quote. Okay, we understand that. We will fix it. Okay, so what it is saying to you is that, see, although this being evaluated to, so although the thing is that being it is being evaluated rightly, but as you are running with the cluster, it is not possible for Spark to give you the data preview over there. Okay, what you can do, you can still validate it. Okay, so if you see the validation is passed, that means your flow is working properly over here. Okay, now close it. Now see, this is the data flow we are working over here, right? Now how do I run the entire show, right? We need to have some data in the output folder. That was our target, right? So once you come over here, you need to create a new pipeline. Okay, so let it be my pipeline FIFA. Okay, let it be a simple one, FIFA. Okay, let it be FIFA. That's a pipeline for us. Okay, now once this pipeline is being created, you just need to drag the data flow from here to over this pipeline. Follow, we have created all the things over here. Okay, now the last thing what we need to perform, you click the validate. I know it will be fine. You close it. Okay, now you just hit the debug. Okay, now this particular thing will really take some time actually, because we are running with a minimum things, minimum clustering configuration, less power sorts of thing. So of course for that reason it will take some power, because of course we are saving a lot of money. We don't want to invest a lot of money for the demo purposes, right? So you should not be, because as you see, this kind of technology comes around a cost, right? So but seriously, Azure, as per I remember, when you first logged into the Azure portal, you create your Azure account, it will ask you to give a credit card. Okay, so if you put it, it will get around 90 days of free trial period, and I believe $300 also for the users purpose. So I will encourage everyone to come to the Azure portal and do some findings over there and do some hands-on practice. Okay, so it will take some time. Let me pause the video for now. We'll be coming back. Okay, so welcome back. So to particular fix an error that we are getting over there, actually what is happening, see, if you okay, let me show you that first. Okay, so now if you are using some kind of pattern over here, like if you go to the expression builder, and that we have done at the time. Okay, so we are opting for this particular file name. Okay, and if you save it, and if you go to the data preview and refresh it actually, and okay, just let the error pops up. Okay, so as you see, this is the particular error that I have copied in this particular text file. So it is saying that string literal cannot be evaluated. Okay, so that means that variable we are passing cannot be evaluated over here. Okay, so I intentionally fall into this particular error, because the reason is that I just want to show you this particular message where it says that Spark's job failed. That was the primary intention for behind it. Okay, so now how do you fix it? Okay, so there is a very simple thing, right? If you go to this particular let us choose the sync. Okay, it is in the sync. Now go to the settings. Okay, so just you have to refresh it one more time. Okay, now see, you have to remove this particular thing, okay, from here. Okay, so once you remove it, it cannot be dynamic right now, so you just need to choose the particular column that you are interested in. If you remember that our team, actually this particular team data contain this particular, where it is. Okay, let me go to the top first of all. So this team contain the name of the country which was played on this particular year. Okay, so of course we want this particular thing, because in our previous condition we have picked up 3 countries over here in the this particular filter setting. So we want to create our file, Argentina, Brazil and Uruguay. Okay, separate 3 files will be created over here. Now once you come down over here, so let's first put it over here. Now one thing you would want to do is that if you go to the data preview, okay, okay, fine, it is saying the error, okay, but it will be resolved ultimately actually. Okay, so let it be that way first. Now if you go to the mapping section, okay, what I've done over here is that see, this particular column was being used to create the path of the particular file. Okay, so I have picked up the same okay, let me remove it, okay, for you. Now if you go to this particular add mapping section, okay, so I want another mapping over here, that is you will take the team name and it will be represented as team okay, team name. Okay, so that should be the output of this. Now if you go to the data preview and try to refresh it, now the error will be going on for us. Let's put our finger crossed. Yeah, the error has gone. Now you see that we have 3 column over here, as you see 3 indicated over here. This one and this one was our column. Okay, now I have introduced one particular column called team name over here, and as you see it is indicated that it's a drifted column. Okay, so it's does not have a direct source, we are deriving from here. Okay, the message is showing over here. Okay, that's great. Now if you come back to the particular pipeline over here that we have created, okay, so now if we go to this particular container folder, okay, okay, let me delete my rough files over here. Okay, okay, fine, fantastic, also sort delete. Okay, now if you come down over here and if you run the show, what will happen? Let us run this particular debug. Okay, so the expectation is fairly minimal. All the things will be processed successfully, and we'll see 3 files would be created under this particular folder. Now one thing I want to show you is that you see these are the very temporary files. Okay, so if you just refresh it, you will see, because this is a temporary folder is being created over here. Okay, it is all because of we are running to the cluster and the nodes. Okay, that is why. So you will not see any data over here. Okay, so this is a temporary file was created by ADF, and if you just refresh it, continue to refresh it, as you see now it is taking the value of Uruguay is being processed, Brazil is being processed. Now if you close click, yeah, Argentina is being processed. Now see, the temporary file which was created previously was gone right now. Okay, it's removed because that was a temporary holder over there done by ADF or Databricks over there, and they created a temporary cluster over here, put the file over here. Now they regenerated the actual file. That's great, right? Now go to the ADF, it will be finished, it will be showing on green. It can take few minutes to stop the process actually, but meanwhile if you go to the any of the file, let's pick up Brazil. Okay, now if you go to the edit section, you will see that the value has come up this way, match year, team count by year, and the team name that we provided. Okay, so that is 1950 22 Brazil. Okay, that's the file of Brazil. Now you can do the similar approach going on any file of like Argentina if you want to see the data. Okay, so you want to go to the edit section to see the data. Okay, see Argentina, the team name is Argentina. Okay, and the year is corresponding 1989, score 2 Argentina. Okay, so all the information about the Argentina is available over here. Okay, now if you close down this, go to the ADF, it should be completed. Yes, it's completed. Now if you want to see the message, it said what? Okay, so it's a success. Okay, it's a staging, lineage, and the success. Okay, now let me download one particular file from Azure storage location. Okay, let me download it. I'm downloading the file from Brazil. Okay, so let me go to my folder to open up the file for you. You see, I have opened up the file that I have downloaded from the Azure storage, and you see that's a CSV file. Okay, so as you see, this match here, team count by year and the team name that we have wanted. Okay, so all the data for the Brazil has been downloaded over here. Now if I move back to this particular output data format, so one particular interesting point that I need to show you is that let me clear up this particular file first. Okay, let me delete all the, yeah, I don't need a snapshot. Okay, delete all the file. Now one particular thing is very interesting over here is that if I move back to this particular data flow over here, now if you come down to this particular sink, okay, let me bring the sink. Okay, it is the sink, right? So let me close all the things. Okay, now you see there is an option under settings that called the headers. Okay, so sometimes it is needed that put some extra text, like your copyright, some sort of text, okay, that you really can want to supply over here. So of course you can paste it. I have created my own text like my YouTube channel and all I received. Okay, so what will happen if I run this right now? It will create a header in every file over there. Okay, so let's test it. Now go to this portion, validate it. Yes, it's validated successfully. Close it. Okay, now just hit the debug and run it. So as you know, you need to refresh it, right? And if you go to the output folder, you will have the same observation. The temp file was created right now for us. Let us wait for some time. Click on the progress. It's progressing slowly, steadily. Okay, now Brazil has come up. Great news. So as you see, previously Uruguay was first processed. Now Brazil is being first processed. Okay, it's really depend upon the clustering. So yeah, all the files are available. Okay, fantastic. Okay, now if you just open up this particular file for Uruguay,